All right, guys, here we are, 2 Down, 1 Over podcast. I'm Josh Mason. This is Matt Flanagan, and we're in the house to rock the mics today, right?
Yes, sir.
Yo, we got a guest in here. He looks a little familiar. He might look like me a little bit, right? Don't be alarmed. Don't be alarmed. But this is Jordon Mason. Jordon Mason is my youngest brother. If you guys didn't know, now you know. Big dude. He's making moves. He's down in Florida, Tampa, Florida, for that matter, rocking a Mason Media company. Now, he does a lot of work, even for us, as far as fame strength in here. Yeah. There's video clips and a lot of social media stuff that he has done in the past and present. And even when we started this podcast, he was breaking off the clips and things like that. So he does a lot of things. He's jumped into this digital media, which is super popular right now, and he's finding his niche. I thought it was cool to bring him on, right? To bring him on and let's see his story and see where he's at and make it happen. What do you think, Matt?
I'm super excited. So my first experience with you was like the opening video for like you meeting.
Oh, yes.
Right in here.
Yeah, we touched that.
I was like, how the heck is he going to put this together? And it was fire. It was awesome. It was super exciting. And that was like, yeah, all right, cool. And then I'm following you, and I follow you on social media, like I was telling you, and you do an awesome job, dude. So,
appreciate it.
Let's jump into it and tell us what you do, how you got into it, kind of like give us a little background on you. So like people that don't know you, like introduce yourself and we'll get into it.
Yeah. So, I was an athlete first. So, I played football, through my whole life, through Valley West. And then I went on to Lackawanna, played there for a short time. And then when I was actually at LAC is where I figured out that I like to create content. I was watching YouTubers. I was a YouTuber at first. So I was making gaming videos. Nice. You remember I was making Call of Duty, NBA 2K videos, Madden videos. That's where my interest went because I was a gamer. And I got into it by accident because I was in the gym with Javon. That's my nephew. Shout out Javon.
Shout out. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. Just graduated.
Nice.
But I was in the gym with him, and I was like, at the time, Odell Beckham was on Instagram doing the workout videos and stuff, and I was like, that looks cool. That looks fire. I was like, let's go over to the gym. At the time, I'm a coach, so I had a key. So we went in during the off hours. I was like, yo, Javon. I didn't even, the first video I made, I didn't even record. It was Javon recording it. So I was like, yo, do this. We're mocking up different workouts and whatnot. I'm not even working out. I'm just doing what looks cool. So take it back to the house, edit it up, whatever, throw it up. It got so much love. And then Josh actually reached out to me. He was like, yo, can you do one for the gym? And I was like, yeah, I don't see why not. And I made one for the gym, and then the rest is history. People started to reach out, and I was like, I may have something here.
Yeah. Awesome.
I like it. So talk about your background as far as athletics. What did growing up, what kind of sports did you play growing up, right? Yeah. And which one did you obviously you went into football, but were there other sports attached, and what did you learn from them things, and what was your passion? Yeah,
so it was strictly football. Yeah. It was strictly football no matter what. I played basketball a little bit in 8th grade. And I was like, yeah, I don't have a jumper. I was like, this isn't going to work. So, I put the basketball down. And then when I made the transition to Valley West, because I was in Wilkes-Barre going to Myers at the time, I was like, football on this side of the river is just, it's so much different at the time. You know, it was very serious. And I was like, football is something I wanted to go after, in college and beyond at the time. That's where my mindset was. So I was strictly all in, 10 toes with football.
Yeah. Not bad.
Pretty cool. So right now you're in the midst of all this. And I look at you like you are just one step away from this blowing up in your success. So I see the behind the scenes. So I see you doing these videos and you're making crazy moves and stuff. And I'm like, what the hell is he doing and stuff? But you continue to build up. So I want to know what moves are you making now? Where's your mind at now? What's this next step? Because I see us having a conversation in 5 years, and we're talking about the success that you've found. And I see you right now as you're just on your journey, and you're just but you're close, So what steps are you making to make this happen?
Trusting the process, right? Because the the one thing that I lacked during my sports tenure was patience and understanding that, I'm doing all of this and it may not be, where I want it to be 5 years from now, but, I'm still trending that way, and it's putting in the work each and every day, even when you're not, seeing the success. As a player, I'm sure, you hooping, you're in the gym shooting shots. Nobody's there.
Right.
Nobody's there. Nobody sees me behind the computer struggling to edit. I'm sitting there for hours trying to figure out a 3-second edit that you're looking at, So it's like trusting that process of like just being a student, trying to be a sponge and learn and just be in the present, not trying to think about the past, not trying to think about the future, just being in the now and just, trending forward day by day is kind of where I'm at with it right now.
Do you have like, you kind of reminded me of something that Josh and I like to talk about is daily habits. Mm-hmm. And, for us, like we have daily habits. So like we try to like work on ourselves and study and do all these things. It kind of sounds like you're in the same realm. Like, daily, like, all right, I gotta do that. This is my process. This is what I'm going to do. This is what's going to get me there. Am I right with that?
Yeah. Even when I don't want to, I think that shows the success is when you're putting in the work, even when you don't feel like it. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Because there's days where I'm like, I don't want to edit. I don't want to sit there and learn something, but it's like, you try to trudge through those things, and sports is so cool because it translates to life so well. And it's like, even as an athlete, like, there's times where you don't want to work out and you don't want to, put in the work, but then that's going to show. And like, my thing is, where I want to take this, it's like, I have to operate like a professional. And, people that are professionals, they put in the work every day, even when they don't want to. And I may not be at that point right now, but I'm trying to create that process now. So, when I get to that point, it's the same thing.
Yeah, consistency.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day. And we know, like, getting to success, it's not easy, right? Like, there's always uphill battles or whatnot. So, and obviously, you being my brother, I know a lot of things about you, right? Mm-hmm. So what I'm trying to grab is like, hey, listen, talk to the audience about, the times where, like, you didn't know what to do. You didn't know where to go. Like, even, like, I know through your college experience, like, you were, like, you weren't sure, and you bounced around, right, a couple times until, like, you got to LAC, and then it kind of felt a little more comfortable, but then even at that point. So, like, talk about that, because that is what resonates with, like, the people that are out there and people that are going through things and going on their journeys of understanding, like, it's not perfect. It's not perfect. Like, there's things that don't work out for you, or maybe your thought process is in a different place when you're around. But I remember that, like, where you were bouncing around through those college years, trying to find your way and, like, what that looks like. But talk a little bit about that story and let the listeners know.
Yeah. So, I definitely bounced around a little bit. And I think with that, it was more so of me being afraid of the challenge of, whether it be football or, academics. I was whenever there was adversity, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like I'm out. And I faced that. I want to backtrack a little bit to even when I went to LAC was, I'm used to being the guy down here at Valley West. I'm used to being, one of the best players on the team.
Sure.
And, when I make that transition to go up there, I see guys that are way bigger than me, way faster. Dudes are bounce backs from Division I schools coming in. And I'm like, damn, it was a culture shock. And then when I get in there, I'm like, not playing. And that didn't resonate with me. I was like, nah, this is stupid. Like, I started to get impatient and I was like, nah, I'm out. I don't want to do this no more. Like, and I feel like every athlete goes through that. Of, just that adversity. But the thing is like, you have to weather that storm. No matter what you do in life, you have to weather the challenge and you have to take it on, and you can't just run away from it because eventually, you're going to go through something in life that's going to have a challenge. Like, that's why sports resonate, because even with the media things, I have challenges with that and my job, everyday life, there's challenges, and it's like, you can't just run from things. So, like, that's kind of, where I was going throughout my tenure was I just felt like I didn't know what I wanted, and I just kept bouncing whenever I was facing adversity. But I mean, ultimately, for anybody out there, I would say, just keep trying, keep throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks, because you never know what, may be of interest, or what may, be something that could be, a passion of yours if you don't try something new. Right. And, that's kind of what I did with the video. I was messing around with it at first. I stumbled into it by accident. I feel like a lot of things people do, they fall into it by accident. A lot of people don't have things that they're set as a kid, like, hey, I want to do this and I'm going to do it. Like, that's a short percentage of people do that, and I feel like you just got to keep navigating and keep going on your journey, and like eventually it's going to find you. I feel like there's destiny with things, and I feel like your fate is going to find you eventually. You just got to keep trudging.
Yeah. Now, sorry, man, real quick. Would you, what would you go back? Would you change anything, A? Mm-hmm. And B, obviously you're more mature now and you understand it, so you're able to see what was happening and why you were leaving or whatnot. Mm-hmm. Would you, A, change anything, and or B, what would you tell yourself today, that Jordan in that position?
I like the impatience thing. I would say trust the process and just be patient. And if things aren't, if you're not getting instant gratification, don't just forget about it. I feel like a lot of the times, people take on things that they want to do, and it's they do it, they go hard for a month or two, and then it's if you're not getting the success or not seeing it right away, it's man, I'm not doing this. Yeah. So I would say just stay patient and just, trust what, you want to do, and trust your truth of what you believe is right, because at the end of the day, whatever you want to do, you got to have the sense to believe. If you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to get anywhere. If you don't believe in yourself, how do you expect other people to believe in you? If I didn't think I could be a great videographer, why would I expect you guys or anybody else to want to hire me to be a videographer? Right. So you just got to believe in yourself, no matter what the situation is. Mm-hmm.
Patience is tough, man. Yeah, especially nowadays, there's instant gratification everywhere. And I'm guilty of that too. And I hearing you talk, I'm thinking to myself, I'm man, I wish I was a little bit more patient.
But the social media, that plays a part, because, people are just seeing what they think, it's like a facade sometimes on social media, to where kids are I didn't really have social media until my tail end of my teenage years, but kids are getting exposed to all these things at 9, 10, 11 years old. And it's a lot of things you see on social media, it's more than likely it's not like that. Or, there's more behind the situation, and people don't see that and grasp that. So they look at a highlight of people's lives, and they're like, damn, well, I got bullshit going on in my life. Right. I got issues, and things ain't going great for me. So, I feel like people try to compare themselves to something that's not really that real.
And I feel like if I had it, I think I would have a tough time. Young me, comparing myself to other people, because you're right. We've talked about this before. It's everybody's highlights. If I'm going to post something, I'm going to post my best stuff, right? And then you get all these likes and this and that, and it's weird. And I have no experience with that as a teenager, or I think it was my freshman year of college when Facebook came out. But anyway, we can go off on that a little bit. But I want to get back to kind of what you're doing and stuff. And we talked about before a moment where you had come up here and you had taken some videos and stuff for Dallas High School, and you made a kid's career, dude. You made a kid's career. Sean Dolan, he's one of the greatest kids. He's an awesome teammate. He made some plays, right? But he wasn't a starter. He didn't, he didn't have crazy stats. Everybody loved him. Nicest kid in the world. But you got an awesome highlight of him, and I've never seen something shared so many times on a social media platform, which is one of the benefits of social media, right? Yeah. So you're creating these moments. You're creating these memories for these kids, for these athletes that's, making their entire careers. And, that's a game changer, and your passion is coming out in that. So touch on that a little bit.
Yeah. So honestly, the first video I did was with Wyoming Valley West. That was, against Scranton. This was last fall. And, I'd never filmed up until this point. I actually called you I think maybe like 6 or 7 months before I even did this, I was like, one day I was sitting there watching a 30 for 30, and I was like, damn, that'd be cool to make like a Hard Knocks or like a documentary for like a high school team, because you don't really see that. Yeah. And I called you and I was like, yo, what do you think about this idea? Like, this is fired. And you were like, yeah, write it down, try to like create a vision and whatnot. And I called the athletic director at Valley West and Coach Baranski, and I was like, hey, Coach, like, it's Jordan here, I'm doing video. I never shot a football game, mind you. I'm like, I'm doing videography for sports. I was like, do you mind if I like come down for the games and like record? And he's like, yeah, you just got to get your clearances, all that. So go and do all that. This is like early summer. So I roll down there. Mind you, I never filmed a football game before. I'm scared as hell. Like, I'm like, damn, like I watch the videos, you know what I mean? Like, I'm watching YouTube videos on how to do it, and I'm like, shit, like I don't know what I'm going to do. So like, I'm sitting there putting everything on and, going about it looking like I'm professional, and I did my best of what I could do, and then I took the videos back, chopped them up, and I threw them up, and I was having doubts even then. I was having challenges because I'm like, am I good at this? Like is this something I should do? Like, and when I threw the video up on the 570 Sports page, it was on the Friday. They were playing Pittston, and I'll never forget. I got out the car, I walked into the locker room, and the faces on all the athletes, it was like, I'll never forget that, because they didn't know what I was doing at the game first and foremost. They're like, who is this dude with this big ass camera, coming here recording? And once they seen that, they all came up to me. They're like, yo, that was dope. I love that. They were all dapping me up. And I was like, that right there, like, moved me to where I was like, any doubts I ever had about it, I was like, oh, that's X. And I was like, I love it because I'm able to do something which I love to create. Yeah. And I'm able to impact somebody's life, through that. Yeah. And that's something that's going to impact them years from now, because that kid, Sean, he's going to be able to look at that in his 30s and 40s and show his kids, like, yo, look what your dad did. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See this like, 3, boy?
Yeah, exactly. Right. So,
who's shooting like that?
So that's like what drives me to do it, is being able to impact people,
Yeah. You touched on some great things, and it definitely, like, again, you being my brother, like, it's definitely maturity, because now you're picking out these things that I was already trying to put you on forever, right? Like, so we could go back and say how much I talked to this man.
Yeah.
But I want to go back to the point where before you were filming the sports, when we just made it within the gym, right? And what we were creating was like little small shit. But I'll tell you, and you could agree to this too, is that I already knew you had something. Like, I was probably the first one to let you know, like, yo, this is the move. And you were, so here's the thing, guys, for everyone that's listening. He comes in and we start doing like little things, filming like BTC winners, and like we did a BTC little comp to it with our challenge, and then we did like little speed kind of things with our athletes, or lifting, montages, all types of things, right? That he was just raw filming, okay? And we were putting it out on our social media. From the standpoint of Fame Strength, it was a separator, because there was no gyms that were doing that had film content or anything like that putting out there. So in my position, I already knew the wave I was going. I was like, yo, we're leading the pack. Like, we're like, no one's doing it like this. I got my brother here that's taking care of these films. Like, we're going to put it out there, so it's going to help the brand. That was A, right? But B, then I figure out, like, yo, damn, this dude's good at this. Like, and it comes easy to him. And he didn't realize that it came easy to him. And I was like, yo, Jordan, listen, dude, I know, like, you're doing these videos and shit for us, but like, yo, you should, like, really push this. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, dude, like you got a gift. I think you should, like, really hone in on it and start to develop something. And he was like, all right, got him motivated. And then maybe you started, like, to put out a logo or a name. We're trying to look for names and things like that, trying to build it up. And then what happened?
Fell off of it.
Yo, so listen. He puts it up, and I'm like, yo, this is the thing. We're pushing, get the logo, all this stuff. You start to get stats, show a couple videos for the portfolio. And then he hits me. He's like, nah, I'm straight. I'm not doing it. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, nah, dude, it's just not my passion. Like, I'm just not, like, you know, I'm going to move on to other things. And I was like, dude, listen to me. I was like, you don't realize how hard it is for people to find, like, the passion in the things that they're naturally great at. And I'm telling you, like, from a brother standpoint, but also from just a human being standpoint of me finding my own passion and understanding how easy it comes to me, right? The whole gym thing was like, yo, I see it in you. Like, dude, you're tripping, right? You're bugging. Like, this is your thing. And he's like, nah, man, I'm going to thing. So I was pissed because I was like, yo, here's his, like, he has it. He's natural. It's a passion. Like, yo, do it. And I couldn't understand why you were dropping it, right? No, I'm gonna let you talk. So I'm like, I couldn't. Yeah. I couldn't understand why he dropped it, and I was just like, in my head, I was like, damn, dude. And as a brother, I'm just like, this dumbass dude, man. Like, he ain't like, he's not listening to me. I'm trying to put him on, like, blah blah blah, whatever. He'll find his way. Then he returns to it, and like it was, you know, months later, or maybe even a year later or whatnot. He returns to it, and now it comes out and about, and I was like, yo, damn, dude. I tried to put you onto this mad long ago, right? And I was like, I told you this was it. But my point is, I want you to talk about that because, you know, people go through that. There's probably people out there that are naturally good at something, but they really either A, don't like believe in themselves that it's something that they can be successful with, or what is the barrier for them to say like, yeah, I'm good at, but like, I'm not going to do anything with it. For like where I'm pushing you to do this, and then all of a sudden you say, nah, I'm good, but then come back in and then realize it is my passion. That is something I want to do. Like, talk about that, because I think that will be great for listeners out there, right?
And even if I could say, because I know obviously, like, you know, the brother, you know, but from an outsider too, like I thought the same thing, and I'm like, dude, he's amazing. And I remember Josh talking about a lot of this stuff, and I'm like, dude, he's unbelievable. And you would come to town, and we would be excited. I'm like, yo, send him to Dallas, send him to Dallas. I want to get some videos, and we would have conversations trying to figure it out. We're like, what is it? Why would he do it? You know. Right. So just to understand that it's not just Josh. There's other people that think that way too. Yes. So go ahead.
I would say, well, because it became so natural to me, I think I didn't feel like I could justify to be like, I could make something out of this because it was so easy. Like you would send me clips or we would shoot stuff, and I would make those videos that I made. It probably took me 20 minutes to do. Right. So I was like, I felt bad charging people, money, because I'm like, this is so easy. I was like, like it's so easy. I felt
which is like a sign.
But like in a way, I was looking at it like, no, I can't. Like this is like something. Like I feel like I didn't feel professional enough because I'm like, it isn't hard. I felt like whatever you do, your profession, it has to be hard to be able to make money out of it. And I was like, nah, it's kind of like the imposter syndrome or something where you're like, you don't have the confidence in yourself to, feel like you could do that. Right. And I don't know. I feel like I kind of, it followed me through with football, because when I went and played in college and I got to that point, that was like drifting into my mind even then. So I think it carried over because, I'm up there with great athletes, and it's like I'm sitting on the sideline, during a 7-on-7 or a 1-on-1 pass rush, and it's like I feel good about myself. I feel like I'm a great player, and like I just didn't want to like take that step to like get in the game. And that's like kind of what I want to like allude to is like whatever passion you're doing, whatever you're trying to do, like instead of like thinking so much about it or trying to build up a plan, like you could prepare as much as you want, but you're never gonna get anywhere until you get in the game. Like I could train all off season. I could do all the agility drills in here. I could squat 500 pounds. But until I take the initiative to say, yo, I'm taking this rep on this field or I'm getting in the game, you're never going to learn mistakes that you could make on the field or whatever the case may be. Yeah. And that's the same thing with editing. I could sit there and learn all the edits I want and learn all the effects. And it's like until I put myself out there to take the initiative to go and do it and make it a business and get that experience, I'm never going to get to the point that I want to get to.
Yeah. That's good. And you know what, there's one thing that comes to my mind and I think a lot of people struggle with this is we talked about it, fear of success.
I was thinking,
right? Like he laid it out there there. He said, you could do everything, prepare for everything that you're doing. And how many athletes do we come across with this, right? But then when it comes to the point of taking action or executing it, they either back out, freeze up, or something else happens to where they cannot perform or will not perform, right? Yeah. And it's like, it's funny because I think it's so weird, right? Because when you say fear of success, you're like, who's scared of success?
Right,
like how, right? Like it seems weird to me, like, but it's not. But it's just like, yo, how are you scared of being successful?
I think it's fear of failing, because people are scared of, not conquering, right? Like you don't want to. That doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to not do well. But like, you got to look at things from the bigger picture. Like, just because you fail in this moment, like, it's a benefit. Like, fail forward. Yes. That's a saying. Yeah, like, you can't look at failure as, like, the end-all, be-all, because, like, I think that's what holds people back is the fact that they're scared of being told they're not good enough. And that's with anything. That's what walking up to a girl and asking for a number. Right. How many dudes are scared to do that? Yeah. You're scared of being told no. Mm-hmm. Right. And, like, at the end of the day, it's like, once you do it and you're scared, but once you do it, it's like, that was easy.
Yeah.
Like I remember jumping off a diving board the first time. I was scared to death. I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. All my friends are making fun of me. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to jump off. I jumped off. Everything that I was feeling, all that anxiety, just like released off of me. And I feel like you said, you just can't think too much, because I feel like you think your way out of a lot of things.
Usually your worst enemy.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Absolutely. 100%. We actually had you scheduled for a podcast before, and then canceled last minute. Something came up, and that's when we had talked about the fear of success, and like, man, you just nailed it. And it's so cool having you on now, because you're facing all this stuff. You're just, it's a whole new person in front of us, and that's growth, man. And I think it's obviously really cool for Josh. I mean, it's super cool for me too. Like, I want you to succeed too, but this guy, man, dude, like, how many conversations have Josh and I had where he's, he just wants to see the best for you, and like we love what you do, like absolutely love it, man. You're incredible, dude, incredible. So
no, I appreciate it, and yeah, this guy right here, he's been nothing but the bar, from what I can remember, and I say that to you now as a young man, is like, you understand our background and where we come from, and it's like, I give you so much credit, because like, for the longest, like, I was chasing the bar that you set, and it's like, you didn't have a bar. Right. You know what I mean? You didn't know a lot of the things that you went through. Like, you had to, it was self-taught. You had to see these things and create it yourself. So it's like, I give you nothing but respect, because that's hard to do, especially coming from where we come from. Like, you're a product of your environment, right? And we don't come from the best upbringings, with everything. Yep. So it's like, being able to see you navigate from that, and then, create this and the belief in yourself, like, from day one. Like, I remember he came to my house on Horton Street. Remember, you came with the manila envelopes. Yeah. You were like, yo, JM Sports Report. He's like, I was probably like in 8th grade. Yeah, he was like, yo, look it, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to open a gym. And we went down to the turf a couple times, and you bust my ass through them workouts. And like, you always had that set no matter what. And even, I'll touch on this as a side note, even I did an internship up at Mohegan Sun. Shout out Steve Paremba and JP. You did that internship 10 years before, right? So I go up there, I do my internship. The last day, they take all the interns out to eat, and what they said, they were like, it just comes full circle. Josh is your older brother. I remember him sitting here 10 years ago, and he sat at this Red Robin and was like, so how do you guys feel about me opening a gym? And, like, seriously talking about all these things, and they're like, this guy, like, who does this guy think he is, right? Like, they're like, who does this guy think he is, talking about opening a gym? And it's just, it's crazy to see that you had that goal no matter what at 21, 22, and it's like, we didn't come from a family with business owners.
Right.
You know, so like to see you take that on, that's like I applaud it, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah.
You already know. And we have many talks, and the one thing I'll touch so we don't, get all mushy and stuff, but that setting that bar is like I always wanted to be the example one, but show you that it's possible. So like that's why you or Jared, that I'm always hard on you guys in the sense of like trying to push you because I know what it takes, and like where I'm like, yo, no, I'm trying to get you right, but like, yo, do this. You got to do this. Here's the lessons here. Here's the lessons. And sometimes I know I'm always preaching, but it's always coming from a great place.
It
right?
is.
Because I want you to be successful. I understand in our background, it's like, yo, let's reset these bars.
Yep.
Right? For our family trajectory. Like, let's reset these. So like, I need you a part of it. I need Jared a part of it because those are the only ones that are going to move it. And then generations behind that, right, come behind that. So it's
I feel like I always got this guy's voice in the back of my head because like anything I go through, it's
not a bad
like
thing.
I remember all the conversations we have, whether it be with career, jobs or women even, and I'm just like, this dude Josh, man, is so right. I'm just like, damn,
Totally.
man.
Said this shit, right?
But you got to touch the stove to know it's hot. Like you're not gonna,
not all the time.
Not all the time. Not all the time. You could be prepared,
Right.
but like,
There's a point where like, yo, that's red. Yeah, like, I shouldn't touch that shit.
Yeah, nah, for sure,
Right?
for sure.
But nah, it's all good. It's all good. So Jordan, listen, let's talk about the vision. Right? Obviously, Mason Media, you're doing what you got to do. You're on your journey. You're trying to build this thing up. What does like the perfect world look like? What does it look like where you're like, yo, damn, this is where I want to take it, right? Like I love to have that vision with anybody. Is just, but like, hey, where do you see it? Where do you want to take it?
I would love to take it to a point to where it's like a global network, so like where I'm doing content creation with videos, YouTube videos, maybe even like sitting down, maybe doing podcasts, maybe getting back into like creating YouTube content, whether it just be sitting up talking, videos, video games, maybe. I kind of like got out of that, but like, I want to create a media outlet to where, I'm covering everything from news, from videography, from, just podcasting. I want Mason Media to be an umbrella for everything content-wise, because that's what I really love to do is create. I started off as a YouTuber. I love to create videos. I love to have an idea come into my head and be able to make it come to life and then post it and then see, the outcome from it. So, like, anything content creation-wise, I want it to be, ultimately like a network.
Yeah, like a media company, right? Like where you take care of all. And listen, dude, not only because I'm your brother, but like I believe you could do it. Like I see your work, I see your skills behind it. If you put the work in, you'll make it happen. Like I believe that 100%. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. So it's like keep rocking that and keep making those moves, man. And beyond that, like listen, dude, you know me. When we'll set up a video, I'll have a vision, but I'll be like, yo, listen, put your flavor on it. Because I trust you. Like, I know what you're going to do with it. Where I'm like, yo, here's what I'm thinking. But, like, I want you to then take this and make it, all right?
Yo vision.
So like, I mean, let's just go back to us and Matt, like, when we first opened the Dallas location, right? Like, that was probably one of the first times that you met him.
That was it. Yeah, we were talking about
He came and picked me up. He was in the car.
Yeah, so so that's like your first time you met him, and I was like, yo, Matt, listen, my brother does his films. Like, he's going to put this video together, a promo video for open up the Dallas gym or whatnot. But, yo, that shit was fire.
It was awesome.
You know what I'm saying? That shit's fire. And the community loves it. They embrace it. Like, it gives us, like, the authority and that kind of the trust in the character. And it's not all serious either, right? Like, you can laugh at it, and that's okay. Yeah. Like, we don't do it to be like, yo, we're actors and we're in this shit. Yeah. But, like, we want to have fun with it, but we wanted to show that. And that came out dope, and I think that was cool, one of the hottest drops a gym ever did, right? Like, as far as, like, gym. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, you're creating things that haven't been done, and we're utilizing creativity and digital media to make it happen, and you're behind all of that. You know what I'm saying?
And I think it was cool. Like I remember going through the videos, but I remember you talking about your vision for it. I was so lost. I was like, I didn't know what you were talking about. I'm like, yeah, whatever, dude. I was
like, yo, we're gonna go out in your car. I'm gonna record you picking the phone.
Yeah,
up.
I know. I'm like, all right. And then to see you tie everything together, to see the like finished product, I'm like, damn, he is creative. Like I did not see that coming. And, especially with all the athletes and all the movements and the way the camera was moving, everything. Like,
even when y'all dapped up right here and it back.
Oh, dude, I know. Walking into it. And I was like,
that was like improv. I didn't even think about that until I came in and I was like, oh, that'd be tough.
But that's natural, right? That's the thing. That shows it just comes to you.
Yes.
But
that would take me 6 years of schooling to try to figure out how to do something like that.
Yeah, true that. And, but yeah, like I said, like you keep that in you stay confident and you just make shit happen, right? It's taking action, like you said.
Absolutely.
So there was a lot of nuggets in that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I thank you for like being honest and opening up in a sense of like the struggles, because I think a lot of times, like you said, we only see the highlights. You don't like, oh yeah, you're successful, and like you don't talk about the struggles or the things that you didn't like or you don't want to mention, but like it connects to people. Like that shit is real, and people are gonna be like, damn, all right, well, I could do it. That's the same thing I face too. Maybe I should try. So I love that, and that's what this is about. Ultimately,
I would also touch on, try to fall in love with the actual journey rather than the end result.
Sure.
I think that's where the magic really comes about, because I feel like there is no end result. Like I feel like once you get to that light at the end of the tunnel, whatever goal it is, it's like, all right, well, what's next?
There's right. Yeah.
So like you have to just, life's like a highway. Like you just got to keep going to your destination. And if you're getting off on this exit and if you're coming back and you're getting on this line and keep going, like just fall in love with that. Because, if I were to tell you to get on the Cross Valley and go from Dallas to Scranton and it was just a straight ride, there's not much to talk about. It's just, I just got on a straight ride. Yeah. But if I'm like, I got on the highway and I got a pit stop and I went here and there was an accident, there was traffic, and there's more of a story. And when it's all said and done, when you're 50 plus, 60 plus, life's all about the stories and embracing those trials and tribulations, because that's all we have to talk about is try to inspire the next generation to push it forward. You know?
Yeah. Because I don't think you ever like arrive, right?
Yeah.
I heard this before. Like you don't arrive. Like I think everyone thinks it's like, when I get to this. It doesn't, because like you said, it's what's next.
Yeah.
Like, because you get to it and you're like, all right, so what do we do next now? Or you got to even work harder to either sustain it or maintain it, right? Yeah. So it's like it never ends. You're right. You got to embrace the grind, love the journey, and be patient.
Yeah.
Be patient, right? Like that's the big kicker.
I know.
All right, brother. What we wrapping up with, man?
Hey, how much did you love this?
Yeah, right.
This was awesome. Great. All right. So, but anyway, we like to end it with a couple questions.
Okay.
You might be prepared for these. You might know exactly what they are. First things first, Northeast PA, the pizza is phenomenal.
It is.
What is your favorite pizza place?
Hey, I'll tell you what. Being in Florida, I'm like 0 for 15 on pizza. I didn't realize how good the pizza is.
We just
here.
talked about
We
this.
heard about
the
this.
pizza is amazing. Like it's there's nothing to compare
one of a kind,
to.
man. One of a kind.
I have to go Angelo's. Sweet sauce.
Sweet
Angelo's
sauce.
half pepperoni.
They're definitely
sweet sauce.
I know. I think
Angelo's
or
is definitely-
Sabatini. Sabatini's is up there too.
They're close
One of
second.
the two, yeah.
I like, you know what? Honorable mention, Adelina's in Mountaintop. You ever had that?
No, I don't even think
No,
I ever
I
heard
think
of
You gotta
Kings
try
was
that.
mentioned in Mountaintop.
Kings, yeah.
King's Adelina's. Shout out Adelina's.
All right.
I think I had Adelina's before.
That's really good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have half pepperoni, sweet sauce. It's funny because like when I mention sweet sauce to people in Florida, they're like, "You put sweet Thai chili sauce on your pizza?" And I'm like, "Man, y'all don't even know what it is, man."
Well, we just had Gino Lewis on our last podcast, and he said the same. So he's in Canada, obviously. But he said the same thing.
Yeah.
Like he said he ordered like pies. People were coming up to visit, and he ordered sweet sauce, half bacon or
like
whatever.
3 pies or something.
Like, and people were like, "Yo, what is? I would never even think of sweet sauce on a pot pizza." And la la la. I was like, "It's just different, dude. We have
We do it
pizza
right.
locked down. Like it's just there's no comparison.
Not at all.
There's no comparison. So Angelo's hit. All right, dude. If you're writing a book, what's the title of that book?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, right.
Title of that book. I would say The Past is the Past.
The past is the past.
You know, because I feel like a lot of the times I would battle with how I went about things, and you mentioned that earlier, would you change anything? And it's like, I don't even want to think about that because I can't change that.
Right.
You know, like whatever happened back then, even if I wanted to change it, you know, if I could go back and do it, I would absolutely do it, but I can't. So it's like, don't think about it. And that could go with, if you fail at something, all right, that's the past. Now look forward. Like, don't think about, you know, your failures or things you did wrong. Like, just be in the present and, you know, don't even look at the future. Just be in the present and do what you can now to whatever you can control is what I'm trying to say, is control what you can control.
Yeah. So the past is the title of the book.
Yeah.
Right? All right.
Cool.
Nice.
I like it. Last question. Is there a day-to-day motto that you live by? And what is it?
Trust the process.
Trust the process.
Trust it. That my shout out Coach Duda. That's what he would say at LAC, and I never really understood that. Right. I never understood what it meant to trust it. You know,
when did you understand it?
I started to understand that actually when I started to get into videoing for sports. You know, because, you know, I never recorded before, and I'm struggling, and it's like same thing with football. Like, I'm training, they redshirted me, I'm mad, I'm not playing, and it's like he would always say, yo, you just got to trust the process. Your time's coming, and like you just got to understand, you know, you may not be where you want to be, but like you just got to keep rolling. And that's the same thing with, I have a chance to redeem myself with my media. Yes. You know, and that's the beautiful thing about it, is now the things that I didn't do for football, I'm able to control that narrative now with my media business, because now I can trust that process. I understand what I have to do, and understand that, you know, it's not all going to be peaches and cream. Like, there's people that literally, you know, they don't value like what I do, like, or they may not be, no, I'm not going to pay you. And it's like, it's all part of the process of like, all right, I'm like 5 years from now, I'm going to be on top with this whole thing, you know? So it's like understanding that and just embracing everything that comes with it, good or bad. Right. Trying to stay neutral.
Yeah, I like it. So Jordon, let the people know how they can connect with you. Obviously, Mason Media, I want you to, you know, give them the shout out and how you can either book or reserve a shooting, or how to get with your business. And because I'm sure people would want that, whether it's highlights, videos, podcasting, whatever, because you do it all. Yeah. How do we get in contact with you through Mason Media? And then give us your personal touch too.
Yeah, so you can reach me through Mason Media on IG. That's Mason__media. You can reach me on YouTube as well. That's Mason Media Network. That's you know, the YouTube page, and also via email, mason.media@outlook.com. That's where I do a lot of my business deals with, you know, inquiries and things like that.
Nice. How about anything personal page they want to follow Jordon?
J_Mace2 on Instagram. And then Jordon Mason, you know, Facebook. I don't really be on Facebook like that. I leave that for when I got to talk to my aunts and uncles and all that. But you know, you could reach me out on there, and those are kind of my trio of networks. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Any last words to the people?
Just stay after it. No matter what you're going through, whatever challenges you're having, just there's always light at the end of the tunnel. It doesn't rain forever, so you know, whatever you're struggling with, whatever you're trying to find, it'll happen. You just gotta trust. You know, just trust. You know, the process.
Yeah, I believe it, man. Hey, listen, that's 2 Down 1 Over podcast, baby. I'm Josh. That's Matt. And this is my brother Jordon. We're in the building. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Please subscribe and boost our numbers. And check us out next time. All right, we'll see you guys later. Peace.